I like pretty girl. Yeah, yeah, I like pretty girl. Hey, hey! I like pretty girl.
No one is dancing.
That's crazy. See, that's how that song works. You just put it on, they just show up. Yeah.
He wishes that were the case.
Craziest rumor you have ever heard about your family?
That Will and I are swingers.
Really?
And I'm like, yo, I wish.
Oh, you do not say that on live TV.
I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Bad marriage for life.
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me. My first girlfriend cheated on me. And I remember making a decision that nobody would ever cheat on me again. And the way I was going to do that is by being the biggest actor on earth.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Uh-oh, Richard.
Oh.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
This is the bounce back. Watch Will, y'all. This is the bounce back. Keep your eyes on him. This is the bounce back.
I don't think it is, though. So if you haven't heard, Will Smith himself, none other than the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, just made his musical comeback. Are you ready?
I like pretty girls. Girls, 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 girls. I love pretty girls. Girls, 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 girls.
I have so many questions. First of all, why is he so small? Who made that editorial choice? It just doesn't make any sense. But think about it, an entire team of people had to work on this. There were 3 producers, 7 songwriters, and then a different guy actually edited it all together to a fully produced music video. They had to color grade it, and then social media managers and publicists had to actually promote this song. Not a single one of them bothered to stop and assess this whole situation? Does his team secretly hate him? Anyways, today we're going to dive into the world of Will Smith himself and try to understand how he reached this point. But before we do, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Gemma, and on this channel we talk about all things music and culture. So if you're into that sort of thing, maybe you'll like some of my other videos as well.
Maybe, maybe not.
So without further ado, let's begin. Chapter 1. Who is Will Smith? Do I really have to tell you? If you haven't been living under a rock, you already know who he is. He is, of course, one of the most successful actors of all time. The Fresh Prince, Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black, I Am Legend. I love these movies, and for most of my life, Will Smith has been highly regarded and very well respected. There's probably no one in the world that doesn't recognize him. And while fame has been his blessing, in more recent times, I'd say that it's also become his curse. Because ever since the incident, things just haven't been quite the same. Chapter 2. The incident. Will was flying high, biggest actor in Hollywood, charismatic and talented, yet humble. But when Chris Rock made a relatively mild jab at Will's wife Jada during this Oscars routine, Will got up on stage and literally slapped the heck out of the comedian. Will Smith, an industry giant with all of his fame and power, publicly and physically humiliated a fellow entertainer over a joke. One of Hollywood's most bankable stars. He just walked on stage and, without warning, struck a comedian who had no real way of defending himself. The power imbalance was impossible to ignore. One man delivering a blow, and another man half his size was forced to stand there and take it, live, in front of millions, in the middle of his own set. So humiliating and honestly traumatic for Chris.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
It was part of his comedy routine. Famous people have to take that sort of thing sometimes. It's part of being in the spotlight. But for Will, this was the beginning of the downfall. He actually ended up winning Best Actor that night. And while everyone kept up the smiles and fake politeness, you could already feel the tension in the room building. Here you go.
In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine light on all of the people. Love will make you do crazy things. Being able to love and care for my mother, my wife. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you. Thank you. Hope the Academy invites me back.
That was rough. It was this awkward, emotional, half apology, half justification for what had just happened. You could see people clapping because they felt like they had to, and because it's Hollywood, of course, but the whole room felt frozen. Like everyone was pretending that this massive, embarrassing moment hadn't just unfolded minutes earlier. But the Oscars ended, and overnight, public perception shifted too. Suddenly, the charming, relatable, feel-good guy we grew up with, the golden boy, became the angry guy who couldn't take a joke. Memes exploded. The press had a field day. Every talk show, every podcast, every YouTube commentary channel, everyone had something to say about Will Smith. And none of it was good. He tried to salvage his exponentially skyrocketing reputation. He apologized multiple times. First on Instagram, then on YouTube.
There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults.
Then in interviews, every time the tone got more serious, more awkward, more desperate to fix the damage. He talked about trauma, he talked about healing, but the internet never forgets. For months, even years after, anytime Will posted anything, the top comments would say, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth," or just a slap emoji. And career-wise, things got quiet as well. He laid low, stopped doing press, stopped posting like he used to. And the Oscars actually banned him for 10 years. And while he still had some movies coming out, the vibe was off. You could feel it. That golden boy energy was gone. And just when the world had finally started to move on, when people had mostly stopped making the slap jokes, Will decided to remind us all that he's back with this.
I like pretty girls.
Well, yeah, that's the song. I've unfortunately had the displeasure of listening to this song many times now because pretty much everyone is talking about it. You've probably seen the videos. And it's a mess. Like, the song pretty much speaks for itself, but I'll give you my opinion anyways. I think the thing that probably hurts the most is the lyrics. Everyone likes pretty girls. I like pretty girls.
I like pretty girls.
But you cannot consume this piece of media and tell me that it makes contextual sense with his career, his age, the modern cultural zeitgeist in general. Isn't it kind of weird to be rapping about how much you like pretty girls at 56? I mean, you probably do, like most men, but at 56 in a rap video? And why are you saying girls? Wouldn't a more appropriate word be women? Because there's something really off about a man of his age liking young girls and talking about it. Where is your sense of class? This is like the weirdest, most uncomfortable decision I've seen, honestly, as far back as I can remember. And if you enjoy cringe like me, you're probably just eating this up. Because this is like 100 times worse than karma. What happened, Will? Is this actually your comeback? Are you sure that you don't want to just delete that video and start over?
I'm about to do some investing. I'll spend it on you and your bestie.
I'm about to do some investing. Spend it on you and your bestie. Bestie? Really? Are 35-year-old women really calling their friends their besties? Why do I get the vibe that this word is kind of like a really young person's thing? Maybe it's just me, but when I hear that lyric, I imagine two 20-year-old somethings in a bikini with Will, the 56-year-old man. Am I the problem here? Maybe the word bestie has no expiration date, so correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, that's actually the lyric, and he actually mentions that they're on a jet ski, so my assumption about the bikinis is basically confirmed.
You and your twin on a jet ski.
It's like he's going for this weird sugar daddy vibe, just emphasis on the weird. But it doesn't even match up. Like, the discrepancy is so strange, because in the actual video, there are 5, I would say, slightly above average women that look like they're in their early to late 30s. The girls are 26, 27, 29, 31, 34, and 39. Well, at least they're not like recently turned 18 or something, because that would be on the slightly predatory side. Next, he says he likes BBLs, bad bitches link up. Then he says, popping in the club all night in the section. Do these women look like the type that are partying all night in the VIP section, then going on jet skis with their BBLs? Mind you, this is no shade to women in their 30s and 40s. It's just that personally, when I'm 39, I just really hope that that is not me. Because when I get to that age, I want to be self-sufficient, healthy, responsible, mature, all of those things. And I would really prefer that by that time, I don't have to depend on someone like Sugar Daddy Will Smith to change my life.
I'll change your life if you let me. Pretty.
So we have this continuity issue. The lyrics are obviously atrocious, but the music video doesn't really match this pool party, drinks flowing, young girls on a boat having fun kind of vibe. Like, at least make some sort of visual and storyboarding sense if you're going to actually go through with this type of creation. Who is the target audience here? Young people? Old people? Women? Men? Pretty girls? I'm just so confused. It's almost like he wrote this song that is supposed to be so overtly sexual and direct while simultaneously being the least sexy song that I've ever heard. And why is he so small? I have a theory. Not that you asked. Sometimes people's inner thoughts accidentally bleed out into their creations. It's this crazy phenomenon called a Freudian slip. Usually it happens when people misspeak.
I love the poorly educated.
We choose truth over facts.
It feels like I'm justifying myself, and definitely I am.
But it can happen in art too. Sometimes without even realizing it, people reveal way more about themselves than they ever intended to. And in this case, he's physically smaller than all the pretty girls he supposedly surrounds himself with. He has an inferiority complex. Like he needs to prove to the world that, yes, I really do love pretty girls. I swear, I still get pretty girls. People still love me. I'm still relatable. Remember me? I don't know how no one told him this, that his insecurity is screaming through the screen. But no one did. And possibly the worst part about it is the intro, because I had actually forgotten about this part until I was going through the video again. He literally starts his music video by talking to his therapist. He confesses to her that his problem of loving pretty girls has only gotten worse with age. And then he gets up on a table and starts dancing maniacally by himself, basically indicating to the viewer that he's gone full mental breakdown because of his pretty girls obsession. While it seems to be unintentional, I see this as Will Smith's cry for help. He's directly telling us exactly how he feels inside. This is not the energy of a man with any self-respect whatsoever. This is the energy of a desperate, grasping man with no idea how he can possibly reconcile himself and his career.
If my movies are number one, my life is going to work out great.
Chapter 4. The music. For this chapter, I don't actually have that much to say about it, so I'll keep it short and sweet. Let's do a short little musical analysis of the song. We have a minimalist drum and bass rap song that is relatively upbeat, energetic, and pretty sparse in its production. We are in D minor the entire time, and the bass goes to the flat 2, which is E flat at the end of every phrase. So we got ourselves a little Phrygian flair there. Nothing wrong with that. I'm definitely not a fan of this song, but I will say one positive thing about it. I kind of like the part in the chorus where some actual chords come in, because there's this like sawtooth pad that goes from D minor to C sharp diminished. And honestly, that was a pretty nice touch. Maybe the only nice touch out of this entire train wreck. So kudos to Mr. Omar for finding a really nice pad VST. We get your typical verse, chorus, structure, and then at the end of the song, we get what feels to be like the last feeble breath of a Blackpink outro, or maybe more accurately, the musical equivalent of a confused fart. Instead of a chant-worthy finale, we get Will Smith shouting, "Ain't too many women ain't pretty to me," with this weird mix of aggression and desperation.
Ain't too many women ain't pretty to me. Ain't too many women ain't pretty to me.
It's like they were aiming for this stadium-shaking group chant and ended up with a midlife crisis echoing through an empty room.
How do you do, fellow kids?
I would go on, but there's really not much more to say. The song is repetitive, yet mediocre. Will's rapping is slightly irritating at best. Musically, it's really just a nothing burger of a modern cookie-cutter pop song. Shall we continue? Chapter 5, What I Wish Will Would Have Done. Make no mistake, there's nothing wrong with being 56 and releasing music. That's not why I'm hating at all. Being an artist has no expiration date. That's the cool thing about art. I firmly believe that. In fact, I made a video about it just recently, so if you're a fellow artist and you're looking for some encouragement, I encourage you to go and check that video out for yourself. We are not just bad vibes here, there's plenty of positivity to go around. The thing is, everyone ages, and with age comes experience, so maturity and class should hypothetically follow. No one is saying it's cringe to make music in your 50s. It's never cringe to make music, unless the music you're making is cringe in itself.
We got nothing to lose, so baby, let's go for it. Oh, let's go.
But there are certain elements of pop culture, like the over-the-top vulgarity and lewd catchphrases, that most artists tend to leave behind if they want to be taken seriously. Just take Justin Timberlake and his Tennessee Kids. In his mid-30s, he had a sort of upgrade when he started to perform his music with one of the most amazing bands I've ever heard. With spectacular arrangements and a super classy vibe. He was no longer a teenage heartthrob, so he shifted his approach accordingly, and it worked really well. Snoop Dogg went from gangster rap, weed anthems, and this kind of pimp persona to family-friendly TV appearances, cooking with Martha Stewart, a gospel album, and business mogul moves. Lady Gaga used to use shock value and hypersexualized lyrics.
I wanna take a ride on your disco stick.
But with time, she developed as an artist, and nowadays she does jazz standards with Tony Bennett.
Under my skin.
And classy, harmonically rich songs like Die With a Smile.
And die with a smile.
Even Miley Cyrus, who once broke the internet twerking on Robert Thicke, now writes more emotionally mature songs like Flowers and I Used to Be Young, and is widely considered to be one of the best vocalists of today's generation.
I know that you're wrong for me. Don't always
Do you see the pattern here? No one is saying that you can't release the music that you want to release. It's just that with every decade that passes, a new phase should enter into your life. You're not 20 anymore, so why are you writing songs as if you are? That time of your life is over. You don't get to go back. You were young, you're not anymore.
I used to be young.
It's not a bad thing. It is what it is. So reinvent yourself. Don't cling on to the lewd and superficial themes that artists in their 20s tend to talk about. It's just not a good look anymore. You know what I mean? But honestly, I'm not sure that this song would have been a good look on anyone, regardless of age. I wish Will would have taken inspiration from his original family-friendly, feel-good vibes from the 90s and improve upon that. Maybe he could have dropped a nostalgic, thoughtful track about life, growth, and where he's at now. Like, think Where is the Love, but maybe talking about how people make mistakes and you have to own them and improve upon them. Maybe something with a serious tone but uplifting in general and with a deeper meaning. Maybe something with live instrumentation, maybe even a full band behind him, showing wisdom and that classic Will Smith charm, but with the depth that comes from living 5 decades on this planet. Maybe he could have taken that over-the-top, vibrant energy that was almost too much and translated it into a sophisticated jazz arrangement of getting jiggy with it, complete with dancers and a full grandiose orchestra, all the works. It would have worked as a beautiful evolution. Instead, we got this.
I like you, and you. It don't matter about your complexion.
Nobody wants to hear a 50-year-old man rapping about liking pretty girls. It's giving creepy uncle who had too much to drink at Thanksgiving dinner.
You're a very pretty girl, ain't you?
I would have loved to see a graduation, a musical improvement, a redemption arc from this public downfall. Because no one is perfect. We all mess up. And this could have been Will's opportunity for a second chance. After all, he's very talented. But it seems like that night at the Oscars broke something inside of Will Smith's brain, and he never truly recovered. And now he's dancing on top of his therapist's desk and singing about pretty girls.
Weird.
Chapter 6, The Backlash. Needless to say, things did not go the way that Will expected.
Right, there you go. I like pretty girls.
Ironically, the song went viral, but not in a good way. It doesn't even have that many views of the actual music video as much as it has little clips of people reacting to it all over social media. And clips like these are floating around.
And I am too grown to play childish games. But if you talking crazy out your face up on the stage and disrespect me on the stage, expect me on the stage.
Obviously, I think Will blew his chance for any real comeback or rebrand or whatever you call it. This song sounds like he assumes the world has already forgotten how despicable he was at the Oscars, and that he's just allowed to be funny again and release music sexualizing women like some young rapper. His timing couldn't be more off. But you know what? This could still be another chance for growth. I'm pretty sure he's not enjoying the entire internet laughing at his comeback attempt, because being Will Smith, he craves praise. So I'm hopeful he can recover. Honestly, I liked his old music, even that cheesy Miami song. I hope he turns things around for all of our ears' sake.
Ain't too many women ain't pretty to me. Ain't too many women ain't pretty to me.
Jesus, shut the f up, Phil.